So hello and welcome everyone to First Tech. I hope all of you are doing very good and in your best shape. So 5G, I know that you must have heard of this term before multiple times, and trust me, you will be hearing this term more and more in the coming years. I mean, it's so important that all the leading tech manufacturers have shifted their game into 5G space. So what at all is 5G? How it is important? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? How does 5G work? Are there any risk with respect to 5G? When it will come to India? When it will come to the world for commercial usage? Those questions I'm going to answer. So please make sure you watch the entire video. By the way, if you're new here, please make sure you subscribe to this channel, like, share and comment in this video. Also click the bell icon just beside the subscription button so that you will get each and every notifications when I upload a new video. So with that being said, let's start the video. So what is 5G? 5G is the fifth generation of mobile network. We started with 1G, then shifted to 2G, 3G, 4G, and then 5G is coming into our space at last. This is the fifth generation of mobile network communication technology. One of the key highlighted points of 5G is the very fast data transfer. I mean, the speed of 5G is very high. Trust me guys, it's very high. To give you a real life example, right? A 2 hours full HD movie will take around 26 hours to download in 3G. It will take around 6 to 8 minutes to download in 4G, that too in optimal condition. But in 5G, you want to know what is the time? That time is just 3.6 seconds. It will take around 3.6 seconds to download a full HD movie of 2 hours. So that's how fast the 5G is. Now if you go in a flashback, we will see that with 1G we got the analog voice, 2G gave us the digital voice, with 3G we got the cellular data, and 4G gave us the mobile broadband capability. But now what 5G will give us? 5G will give us a unified experience, next generation of user experience, and it will also empower new deployment models and enable new services. So 5G is very strong, very capable, and it will definitely give a revolution in the telecommunication industry. Now in the frequency department, we will understand that all the communication happens with respect to electromagnetic waves. It also uses radio waves for communication. 5G is also the same, it will also use the electromagnetic waves. So when it comes to 5G, right, we can divide 5G into three different bands. One is the low band, second is the mid band, and third is the high band. So the high band is also known as millimeter waves band. In the low band, the frequency it will operate is between 600 to 700 megahertz. So it's a sub gigahertz band. There the speed will be a less speed, but the coverage is increased. So the coverage will be a lot more in the low band, but the speed will be a little less. You will get a speed of, for example, 200 to 300 Mbps. In the mid band, the frequency it will operate is 2.5 to 3.5 gigahertz. So 2.5 to 3.5 gigahertz is the mid band of 5G. Here the coverage is decreased with respect to the low band, but the speed is increased a lot more. You will get a speed of 700 to 900 Mbps. So that is the mid band. Now in the high band is where all the magic happens with respect to 5G. The coverage is a lot less, that is true, but the speed is fast. It's like extreme speed in case of the millimeter waves. The frequency in which the 5G high band operates is 24 to 72 gigahertz. The speed you will be getting at around 1 Gbps to 20 Gbps. The speed is fast. The speed is the major highlighted point in case of millimeter waves band of 5G. So you will get a lot of speed in that case. And please remember that 5G is still in nascent stage. It's still worked on, still researched upon. So this speed is not fixed. It can increase a lot more also. Now with respect to the applications of 5G, 5G will be of great use in all the tech industry. It will be greatly used in all the smartphone industry. It will be used in IoT devices, which is the Internet of Things devices. It includes the autonomous cars. It includes wearables, all the smart watches. It includes the smart security systems, the smart alarms, and each and everything with respect to IoT. Also, the gaming industry will be a lot more benefited when it comes to 5G. How and why? I'll explain in the next section. Now, with respect to the pros of 5G, the first pro is the great multi Gbps peak speed which is offers. It offers somewhere between 1 Gbps to 20 Gbps in the millimeter wavelength. So that is a great speed. So that is definitely the eye-catching point of 5G. But trust me, 5G is not limited there. It is not just high speed, it is also with respect to very low latency. It offers 10x low latency when it's compared with the 4G counterpart. Okay, so the latency according to 5G spec is supposed to be 1 millisecond. So that is how fast the 5G can be with such great less latency. And this latency is taken into care in all the IoT devices. So when 5G comes, right, IoT devices will be greatly benefited because here the latency is a key factor there. To give you an example, let's say that a Google autonomous car is there on the road. It's moving and somewhere around 2 meters there is a roadblock. Now, if the communication to stop or turn does not reach in the right time, if there is a delay of maybe 10 seconds or more, there would have been a crash. So here the latency becomes very important. The low latency network and a high speed networks becomes very important. It can also be applied in with respect to the IoT devices like security systems and smart alarms. The next advantage is the wider coverage and uniform reliability. With respect to the 5G, we must set our pace first that 5G wavelengths does not do very good with respect to obstructions. I mean, if there is a tree or there is a huge concrete wall between the wavelength can't pass through that. So what is the solution for that? The only solution is to install more and more nodes to give a rounded coverage for that. So that is why 5G, the coverage will be increased. It will give us increased coverage and wider coverage, and the reliability factor will also increase because of the low latency, wider coverage and high speed. Along with that, one user also should get next level of user experience with all the bells and whistles that 5G carries, right? So the user experience is going to be very rich and very reliable. With respect to the cons of 5G, the cost factor is definitely a factor. 5G is still in a very nascent stage and is still being worked on. So all the nodes of 5G are still not mass produced. It takes extremely skilled engineers to work on 5G and also to maintain and deploy a node. So cost factor of 5G is definitely increased now. With respect to the cost of smartphones also, you require a new modem or new hardware for a phone to support 5G, and this modem or hardware is not at all cheap as of 2020. So cost of smartphones which is capable of 5G is also going up. With respect to the coverage, I already told before that 5G wavelengths does not do very good with respect to obstructions. So you require to install more and more nodes to cover a shorter distance of area with 5G. I mean, if you install few nodes and try to cover a wider area, that is not possible with respect to 5G. So coverage is definitely an issue as of yet. So how does 5G work? I mean, it's good to know the advantages and disadvantages and real life scenarios of 5G, but we need to know how does 5G work also, what all the technologies that 5G uses. So just like 4G LTE, 5G also uses OFDM technology. OFDM is orthogonal frequency division multiplexing. It's a technology that is already there and is already being used upon by 4G LTE. 5G adds more algorithms on top of that OFDM technology, and it makes it more robust and more reliable. It also uses 5G NR, 5G new radio wave along with OFDM to work in a seamless fashion. Now I've been hearing that 4G is already harmful with respect to its radiation. Will 5G emit more radiation? Will 5G be more harmful? And please understand that the radiation aspects of all the generations of network are there. It's there. But the amount of radiation are governed very strictly by all the bodies across the world. So 4G definitely radiation is there, 5G also radiation will be there, but they are in check and won't harm the human beings. So do not give in to those myths. So 5G, when it will be available? 5G is already there in very select places around the world. Most of them are focused on testing and research driven data. So 5G is not yet commercially available. Though the major telecommunication partners starting from AT&T, Verizon and T-Mobile have already started implementing 5G, and most of them are supporting also. So 5G is worked on but still not available for commercial usage. And I don't think that it will be available for next 2 to 3 years in India. At least 2022 to 2023 we must expect to be coming in India. Do you require a new phone for 5G? The answer is yes. 5G uses specialized modem or specialized hardware to be used and to be there in your phone. So if your phone does not have that specialized modem, your phone won't be supporting 5G even if your carrier supports. So you require a new phone for that. Now if you ask me the question, do I need to buy that phone now? Please remember that 5G is very expensive, and 5G phones are also very expensive now. So no need to buy a new phone which supports 5G now, being it is not commercially available for everyone. So no need to buy a new phone which is supports of 5G. So that's all I had to tell with respect to 5G. Explaining 5G in very simple terms is quite hard enough. This was a challenge to me, but I hoped this video was helpful to you and this was a descriptive and informative video to you. So please write it down in the comment section how you like this video. Also, if you have any questions, you can let me know. I will make sure that I answer each and every questions. Please write it down in the comment section also about the future tech topics and the future tech reviews that you want to see in this channel. Please subscribe to this channel. Take care, like and share this video. Bye bye.